Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to compare 2009 Jay Cutler against his 2001 version to see which year he was really at his best. A lot of people like to debate on the topic of which year was Jay Cutler's best, and I hope in today's video I can clarify, my opinion and which version I prefer more. Just to mention quickly before the video starts, a recurring theme you may notice throughout the video is that Jay Cutler's 2009 version may have better conditioning and more muscle maturity than his 2001 version, whereas his 2001 version will probably have a bit more of a fresh look to his muscles. One last thing before I start the video, if you guys could take a moment to, like and subscribe, it really make my day. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs, and it really means a lot to me if you guys would. And without any further ado, let's get into the comparison. I've always liked how Jay Cutler opens up with his partial vacuum in the front double bicep shot, and you can see that in both years here. Now, I will tell you that 2001 has better symmetry throughout the arms, as in 2009 his biceps seem to be a little bit asymmetrical. Now, the midsection in 2001 is much better, much tighter, and looks a lot more neat. The lat flare is very comparable for both years, and from the front, the conditioning is very comparable too. The leg size seems to be a little bit better for 2009. I really like that in, middle quad area. I don't really know the technical term for it, but in 2009 it looks a lot bigger and his quads just look a lot more full in '09 as well. 2001 though has those striated quads, but 2009 as we all know has those as well. I'd probably give the front double bicep shot to 2001 because of its overall flow, looks a lot better and has better symmetry. The front lat spread is a good pose for both years here. However, you really can notice how much of a presence Jay Cutler's midsection has in 2009. It is much bigger and much more noticeable in '09 than it is in 2001. And 2001 just looks statuesque, so picturesque there. He looks so good. '09 has a more hard and grainy like condition to things like the arms and the chest. If you guys will take a look, his chest looks a lot more grainy and conditioned in '09, whereas in 2001 it looks a little bit more soft. The delts in both years look really good. Honestly, '01's delts impress me a bit more. The legs for '01 also look a bit better because they have a bit more symmetry in this shot. The calves are probably better for '01 as well. The lats would probably go to '09. But wow, look at that, clavicle width on Jay Cutler. Just amazing, phenomenal stuff. I'd probably give this shot to '01 as well because, that midsection just looks so good on Jay Cutler. The abdominal muscles, you can just see them peeking through there, just very picturesque, like I said. Yeah, it's a win for Jay Cutler's '01 version here. The side chest pose is an unfortunate pose for 2001. Many of you may not know, but it's really rare to find good pictures of 2001 Jay Cutler hitting the side chest pose. So this is what we're going to have to make do with. And it's rather unfair because I can't judge conditioning or really anything because of how bad the picture quality is for '01. '09 just looks amazing though. Look at that arm, the conditioning through the brachialis, bicep, and tricep. The shoulder is ripped and striated. The chest, the far pec is striated, and the front one looks hard and grainy. Everything about '09 looks phenomenal, and the leg looks great too from the side. However, I can't say the same about '01 because of how bad the picture quality is. So by default, I'd probably give this pose to '09 because if I were to look at the '01 picture here, the arm doesn't look nearly as conditioned, nor does the side leg. The chest doesn't look as ripped and striated. And yeah, overall, the only thing I could really see that I would give to '01 here would be the midsection, but '09 just looks so dense and has such good muscle maturity that it would be hard to not give '09 the win here. Wow, guys. Just take a minute to appreciate how good Jay Cutler looks in really any year he hit the side tricep pose. One of his best shots solely because of that midsection. One of the best midsections in the side tricep pose of all time. Now, both years look very similar here. Honestly, they could be identical. The tricep in both years is exactly the same. The shoulder may be a bit better for '09, but '01's shoulder looks amazing here as well. The midsections look amazing here, pretty much identical as well. Now, the real difference is in the leg department. As you guys can see, the details in the glutes and the separation between the hamstrings and quads is a lot better for '09. And in '01, the detail really isn't as, prominent. So I would probably give '09 a slight, very slight edge in the side tricep pose, but there's 100% an argument out there for Jay Cutler's '01 version winning this shot. Moving into the rear lat spread, you guys can immediately notice that there's something missing on Jay Cutler in 2009, and that's his lower back. 2001 has a really dense and full lower back area, but in my opinion, his back and lower body in 2001 isn't as conditioned as '09. Even though '09 doesn't have a lower back, '09 presents really good vascularity and condition and overall better muscle maturity. Not to mention, his traps in '09 look really, really defined and dense. The lower body for '09, though, is just wow. I mean, that is rock solid. Those piano wire like hamstring cords and the rock solid glutes are just amazing. Stuff of legend. And '01 looks amazing in its own right in the lower body, but just nothing in comparison to '09. So honestly, I'd probably lean a little bit to '09, but '01 could definitely have an argument made for winning this shot. 2001 looks really, really good in this rear double bicep shot. I mean, that lower back development that he has in 2001 is really dominating 2009's lack of, lower back development. Even though '09 has that really rock hard conditioning in the glutes and hamstrings, I don't think that's enough to overtake that really wide and much more dense now, it appears, back for 2001. The conditioning in the upper body is very comparable between the 2 years. However, it's very obvious that '09 has a better, conditioning in the lower body, like I just said. So even though '09 looks decent in its own right, '01 would be taking the cake here in the rear double bicep shot. All right, guys. So the abs and thigh shot is a really good shot for both of these years. I will tell you that 2009 would be winning in the quad department with those amazingly striated quads. Now, '01 would be winning in the midsection because the actual abdominal muscles are a lot more sunken in and probably a little bit better developed. And the midsection creates a much better V taper in '01 because it is much smaller. Jay Cutler in '09 doesn't really look as bad as he did in, let's just say, 2007, 2008. However, he still kind of looks like a fridge a little bit. So it's really, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a better midsection and V taper in the abs and thigh shot? Or do you prefer better quads? And that's not to say that '01 doesn't have good quads. '01 actually has very good quads. You can see the striations peeking through there. And for that reason, because '01 isn't getting dominated in really any aspect and isn't necessarily losing all too bad in the quads, I would probably give the edge to '01 in the abs and thigh shot. All right, guys. So for the most muscular shot here, I will tell you that 2009 presents probably his best rendition of the crab most muscular pose. I mean, just wow. He looks phenomenal here, guys. Everything just works really well for him. The background, the fullness of the muscles. Look at those traps, the shoulders, the chest. Everything just flows really well in '09. I mean, yeah, it just looks phenomenal. '01 looks really good in its own right, but nothing really stands out to me in pops like it does in '09. So, I know that's a really basic response, but I think you guys can see how legendary Jay Cutler looks in '09 and how all his muscles flow pretty well. And in '01, he just doesn't look as good. So '09 would get a clear advantage, in my opinion, over '01. All right, guys, so that about does it for this comparison. Just to summarize the results, I had 2009 winning the side chest, the side tricep, the rear lat spread, and the most muscular poses, whereas I had '01 winning the front double bicep, the front lat spread, the rear double bicep, and the abs and thigh shot. So it kind of resulted in a tie. So I guess you guys may be disappointed that it's rather inconclusive, this comparison. However, I will tell you that I do prefer 2001 purely because of his front shots, which just looks so dominant. I really like 2001's front shots, and his back shots are good too. 2001 was just a really good package, and I think '09 is great in its own right, but I really like how fresh 2001 looked. So that concludes this comparison. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please remember to like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, have a good day. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.